Hello, welcome to Old School Movies podcast, where I, Nora, your host, will share my reviews on some old but gold box office hits in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Rest assured that I will try not to spoil much of their golden details so that you can sit back and enjoy them later. For this episode, let's dive into my top movie that exceptionally portrays different aspects of chasing for the bliss. May I ask you this question? When was the last time you felt like it looked so fine for everyone else except for you? Or why was life so unfair for only you, but not anyone else? For me, I think such thoughts come and go quite often in my life. Or in other words, I have been co-living with this since young. As an ambitious and self-disciplined schoolgirl, I often aimed for high goals like becoming a member of the school's team for an English contest, gaining a scholarship at the age of 15 to study overseas, and even being admitted to the English specialized class at the high school for the gifted. Of course, with such a long list to check, I invested all my mind and even my naive grit to acquire all the advanced knowledge, practice essential skills, and train my mentality to combat with any elective papers. I took a motive from the inspirational proverb, "Practice makes perfect," and raised a high hope that my efforts would be paid off, like what is said in the proverb. But no, practice only makes perfect. It didn't make me realize my goals the way I wanted. I failed the elective test for being a part of the English school team. I wasn't chosen for the scholarship examination. I successfully entered a high school for the gifted, but not the English specialized class. Whenever such events happened, looking around, I was hurt by the scene that my peers managed to obtain flying-colored results with just little commitment. Then, I couldn't help but admit that I was very unhappy and extremely disappointed in myself for being so inferior. At the age of 15, when puberty hit me quite hard with some emotional turbulence, I didn't want to disclose my feelings to other people. So, to find a way to escape such a depression, I gave Google my questions and expected it to give me some solutions. The keywords were very funny and sometimes nonsense actually. How to be successful. I want to be as relaxed as my friend, but still a successful person. Is there any way to make a checklist that seems doable, but still includes significant goals? And so on. I don't remember what were the exact keywords I put in, but I received a result which was a suggestion list of must-watch movies. I think the universe somehow helped bring me to such resonating plots that even now, when I feel small or helpless with myself, I will rewind my memory to the days that I really enjoyed them. It was also when I really got the idea that happiness or success is just not a finish line. It is a journey. May I ask, as young adults, or when you were young adults, how did you define happiness? Have you ever chased for it? Was the journey smooth, or at least to some extent enjoyable? I believe that many of us often regard happiness through aspirations of success, fulfilment, and the freedom to follow our dreams. It's sometimes we tend to chase with fever, believing that once we achieve certain goals or overcome certain obstacles, happiness will follow. Yet, the journey is often filled with challenges, moments of doubt, and unexpected turns, which shape us along the way. This universal quest for happiness is at the heart of the Pursuit of Happyness 2006, a movie that tells the inspiring story of Chris Gardner, a man who battles overwhelming odds to provide a better life for himself and his son, while holding on to the hope in the face of adversity. The Pursuit of Happyness 2006 is a biographical drama starring Will Smith as Chris Gardner, a struggling salesman who faces homelessness while raising his young son, Christopher, played by Smith's real-life son, Jaden Smith. Set in San Francisco in the early 1980s, the film follows Chris' journey as he faces financial hardship after investing in a business that fails. Despite the challenges of being evicted, living in shelters, and caring for his son, Chris remains determined to turn his life around. He lands an unpaid internship at a prestigious stock brokerage firm, competing with other interns for a full-time position. Through perseverance, hard work, and firm hope, Chris eventually secures the job, transforming his and his son's lives. The film is a powerful portrayal of resilience and the pursuit of the American dream, based on the true story of Chris Gardner's life. It is more than just a heartwarming rags to riches plot. For me, this is an exploration of the often harsh realities of chasing happiness in a world of obstacles. The plot dramatically narrates the gap between the ideal of the American dream and the brutal realities faced by those trying to achieve it. Chris' dogged pursuit of a better life for himself and his son demonstrates that happiness is not solely about material success, but also the resilience in overcoming life's hardships. Through Chris Gardner's journey, happiness is emphasized not to be handed to anyone, but it should be pursued through persistence, grit, and even loss. Chris' struggle against financial instability, homelessness, and emotional hardship is a powerful metaphor for the relentless effort required to reach personal fulfillment. Chris' quest for a better life is marked by setbacks, yet it is unwavering belief in a brighter future keeps him moving forward, highlighting how the pursuit itself, enduring hardship, fighting for survival, and maintaining love for his son becomes an essential part of Chris' eventual happiness. Happiness as portrayed in the film is not just about achieving one's goals, but about the internal growth and emotional strength gained through the process, which is redefined as the fulfillment found in perseverance and personal transformation. What I feel most aligned with the film is that it doesn't depict a victory that absolutely comes after hard work, but a very naked reality is that success sometimes is not hand in hand with effort and commitment. Chris did put a full hope into his first venture, and unfortunately witnessed how it failed shortly, though every single day he still sets off to work with the determination that he will try to make a change that day. Watching the film, I couldn't help but think about different moments of my life when the whole world seems stacked against me. I wonder why I keep moving forwards. Like Chris, and maybe like most of you out there, though amid different messes and challenges in life, the desire of owning a future I often envisage has been the driven engine that pushes myself to stand up, redo, or even restart after each fall. This film is like my life reflection, which includes lots of hopes and goals, but also full of seemingly impassable hindrances. As strong as he might seem, there are several points when he has to admit his breakdown, uncertainty, and loss in life puzzle, which widely resonates with most of us no matter what era we are living in. Being set in an absolute disadvantage compared to others, the key to Chris' job seeking is merely his can-do attitude and indestructible will of getting closer to a better life. Chris' story leaves us a powerful reminder. Sometimes it's not just about where we end up, but the resilience we build along the way. In the end, perhaps the pursuit itself holds more meaning than we realize. Just like Chris, I believe we've all faced moments when the odds seem impossible to overcome. Yet, somehow, the hope for a brighter future pushes us to keep going. Maybe you have had times when every step felt uncertain, but that drive to keep moving forward no matter what gave you strength. What does happiness mean to you? Do you see yourself in Chris' story? I hope that watching this film, you can see part of yourself reflected in its plot or the plot of the millionaire Chris Gardner. The film may not give you a great confirmation that through all the downs, there will be a bright spot for you, like how it happened to Chris. But I'm sure it can show how we can learn to enjoy our journey to the utmost fulfillment, also embracing the midway blockages, which we may share some in common with him. I wish you find peace inside your soul after this movie, and somehow have more strength to continue your determination in realizing your dream or reaching your own happiness. So that's the end of my sharing today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and found it interesting. For your convenient reference to the historic events I mentioned, please find the links to my blog page in the description, where I have compiled all the related information. If you have any questions or you want to discuss more on what I shared today, please leave your comments below. I would like to talk to each of you more as well. You can search for more episodes of this Old School Movies podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and my own blog page. Thank you for listening to today's episode all the way to the end. And I hope to see you again in my next episode of Old School Movies, which will be released soon. Once again, this is Nora, your host. Thank you so much and goodbye.